We begin in Japan tonight, where this afternoon President Myung and Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi held their second summit. Our Blue House correspondent Song Yoo-jin, who is traveling with the president, joins us live from Osaka, where the Korea Press Center is located. Yoo-jin, what is the latest?
Right. Good evening, Dami. So President Lee Jae-myung has just one official engagement left for today, which is attending a dinner hosted by Japanese Prime Minister Sanae-Takaichi. Now, as we wait for the details from the Blue House, upon arriving here in Osaka this morning, President Lee traveled straight to Nara Prefecture, which is Prime Minister Takaichi's hometown, for their second summit talks. The summit began with a closed-door restricted session, including a small number of aides, followed by an expanded meeting, and then a joint press briefing. Now, the summit appears to have been held in a warm and friendly atmosphere. Take a listen to the two leaders.
각별히 파격적인 환대를 해주시고 한일 관계 개선을 위해서 온몸을 던지다시피 특별한 배려를 해주신 총리님께 깊은 감사의 말씀을 드립니다. 고맙습니다.
I am delighted to welcome President Lee to Nara, a place he said he wanted to visit during our last summit. Since taking office, this is the first time I have invited a foreign leader to Nara. I believe this reflects the friendship and trust between President Lee and me.
So, according to Blue House spokesperson Kim Nam-jun, the level of protocol was notably elevated, with Prime Minister Takaichi surprisingly receiving President Lee herself upon his arrival in Nara, as well as a large-scale security presence of thousands from the airport to the Nara Prefecture.
I see. Yoo-jin, now you mentioned Lee and Takaichi held summit talks earlier this afternoon. Tell us more about the summit's major outcomes.
So what stood out was what President Lee described as a, quote, small but meaningful progress in sensitive historical issues, particularly the Josei coal mine. This is where more than 100 forcibly mobilized Korean laborers and Japanese were killed in a flooding accident in 1942.
80여 년이 지난 작년 8월에서야 유해가 처음으로 발굴된 바가 있습니다. 양국은 동유해의 신원 확인을 위한 DNA 감정을 추진하기로 하고 구체 사항에 대해서는 당국 간 실무적 협의를 진행하기로 하였습니다.
We welcome the progress being made between our two countries on cooperation for DNA testing related to the remains discovered at the Josei coal mine in Ube, Yamaguchi Prefecture.
Moving on to security, Lee and Takaichi agreed on the importance of bilateral cooperation and trilateral coordination with the United States to maintain regional stability, including achieving complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula. And there was also a mention of China. President Lee's visit this time drew more attention, coming a week after he met with Chinese President Xi Jinping in Beijing, at a time of heightened tensions between Beijing and Tokyo, following Prime Minister Takaichi's remarks on Taiwan. In the joint press briefing, President Lee emphasized the need for South Korea, China, and Japan to find as much common ground as possible and to continue communication and cooperation. Now, as President Lee wraps up his first day in Japan tomorrow, he will first visit the Horyuji Temple together with Prime Minister Takaichi, which is one of Japan's most iconic landmarks, to further build personal rapport. After that, he will wrap up his visit by having lunch with the local Korean community. Dami?
Thank you, Yoo-jin, for the coverage.